I hired Alan Butler from a bank. We were wanting to go on computer. We didn't know anything. I didn't know anything about computers and don't know much yet. So Alan had some experience in computers. He had a degree out of Western, and the girl at the bank that I was talking about a moment ago that seemed to have a lot of confidence in me, she kept telling me, said, Alan has changed jobs, said he just doesn't fit in the clique here. And said he's a smart guy and so forth. And so I met him and talked with him, and I thought, he's different, just different guy.
Gene had an opening at that time, and I'd been working down at People's Bank downtown, and he'd come in and we'd talk for a minute. I went down there, and he hired me. I actually believe the only reason they hired me was because he and Jimmy both liked to deer hunt. And deer season was coming up 1st of November, and therefore they could go deer hunting and I could stay there and work. So if I'd have been a deer hunter, I'd have probably never got the job here. So that's how that all worked.
I hired him, and the first day he came to work, that morning, he opened the outside door and slammed it against the wall and hollered, I'm here, all your worries are over. And I thought, Lord of mercy, what have I done?
Well, tell me about your first day, because Gene told me you busted through them doors.
Yeah, that's his favorite story, isn't it? That it was downstairs in this basement. You had to come down the steps up, and they had to let me in. And I think I'm not sure what the line was. He seems to know the line better than I did. But I said, I think I said something like, all your prayers have been answered. Here I am. And I think the girls that were working there, Marguerite, she looked at me and went, she was not very happy with me right off the bat, that part. But that's how it all started. And they were in the process of trying to get on, at this particular point in 1975, there weren't a lot of software programs for financial institutions. And there was none for credit unions. And Gene, he was trying to develop one, so he had hired a programmer and bought some equipment. And this guy was trying to program some software for the credit union to try to get into the computer age. And it was a disaster. I mean, we fought that for like 3 years until we finally determined it wasn't going to work. And by that time, there was a couple of software companies that were providing services for credit unions. So we transferred in 1979 to a different system and started from there. And after we were able to transfer to a new software system is when we got to start adding new stuff. That's when we were able to add checking accounts and CDs and IRAs. The other software just wouldn't handle it. So we were able to do that.
Alan turned out to be a real asset to us, not only in computers, but his financial background helped us a lot.